Hey guys, welcome back. So now that we already talked about the overview, what I want to do is check and look at checkpoint one. So checkpoint one is probably one of the more difficult things. The first thing you have to do is you have to go into the Google Classroom, and I want you to listen to the podcast. All right. Now, again, I want to remind you again and again and again, I did record that, I didn't record it, but it is recorded for you. So if you look on your Google Classroom, you will see here's the permission slip and here are all of the episodes on YouTube. All right, and this is a podcast. There is some pretty adult-like language, so make sure that I do get that permission slip completed. Okay. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start the evidence tracker, and I suggest you open this up as you go. And again, this is a lengthy podcast. All right, there's 6 episodes, so it's going to take you multiple hours. Right? Now, what you'll do is you are going to find evidence and context. So evidence is a direct quote that you hear in the podcast, all right? And the context is just simply a little bit about the quote. So, in this case, they're saying that Adnan, I hope I spelled it right. I'm not sure if you remember talking to me in the library on the 13th, but I remember chatting with you. So that came from episode 1. So this is a little bit of a background. Then on this side, here is where you add a comment, you make a connection, you ask a question, or you make an inference. All right, so I want you to think. We did talk about inferences. What does it mean to infer? Anytime that we read or write, something might not be explicitly stated. So they might not tell you outright. But if I told you these clues, if I said every morning my wife wakes up, and she puts on her business suit and she grabs her briefcase and she heads to court. Once she gets to court, then she puts on the robe and goes into her chambers. Now, I never told you what my wife does for a living, but you can make an inference that she's probably a judge because I gave enough clues. So that is making an inference, or you can make a prediction. So once you're done with this, once you finish episode 1, then you're going to come straight down and you're going to do episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, and episode 6. This gets really difficult to do if you don't listen to it. In fact, it's impossible to do, so you must listen to it. Even if you put it on in the background and work on your math or other assignments, you have to listen to this assignment in order to do this, okay? And again, all of your activities are right along the right. So if you're struggling with any of the vocabulary, there's a great little printout of vocabulary that we have. There's also a really good timeline at the bottom. So that kind of helps you keep everything straight. There is a general, the people that listen to this really enjoy it. The kids that have already listened to it, in fact, they've listened beyond. So go ahead and get started with it, all right? And again, this is kind of behind the due date, so I'm trying to get you guys caught up. All right, thanks a lot. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.